Well, good morning. Welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Wolak. So I want to talk to you, as I do every day. How flexible are you? Because your flexibility will determine the quality of your life. Just like a tree, that if a tree is too firm, too unbendable, when a big storm comes, that tree will snap and break. But the tree that's flexible will continue to live. Same thing happens to us because we build these beliefs and we're so inflexible that we take our beliefs and give them the label that they're true. The second we give our belief the label that is truth, we become inflexible. We're unwilling to bend. And because we're unwilling to bend, that can cause us either great joy or it can cause us great pain. Because the key to life is that to understand is that a belief is just something you've chosen, either consciously or unconsciously. You've chosen your beliefs. Think about this. If you have religious beliefs, the religious beliefs that you have are probably the same ones as your mother and your father because you were born into them. You didn't choose them. You didn't question them. So if you were here in the United States, you probably were born up with Christian beliefs. If you were born in India, it would be Hindu, could be Buddhist. If you were born up in the Middle East, it would be Islam. If you were born in a Jewish community, it would be Judaism. You didn't choose them. But yet we become so attached to whatever it is we believe that it causes us great pain. You weren't born a liberal. You weren't born a conservative. Those are beliefs that you were given or you've chosen. Your lack of flexibility in your beliefs determines the experience of life that you have. What I've come to understand is, as I look at my life, oh my God, my beliefs have gone all over the place. And what I'm understanding now is that evaluate your beliefs on a regular basis and see, are they serving your greater growth and your greater expansion? Because that's why you're here. You're here to grow, you're here to expand, you're here to have a greater experience of life. But I'll tell you, if you lock in your beliefs, if you're rigid on your beliefs, you're not going to have an expansive life. The key is to be flexible, to be able to reevaluate. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I'd love for you to give me an answer. What is a belief that you feel you are most attached to, that you're most rigid in? What belief is that? What area of life is that belief? For me, here's the biggest belief I've got. I believe that my number one purpose in life is to become more aware. I believe that. Is it true? I don't know. I think it is. But do I have a foundation that's inconclusive? I have a foundation based on my experience. I have to be open. I have to be open. On veganism, I hear you, Becca. I had a belief on that too. Then I went to Italy and I changed that belief for a little bit. Funny, flexibility has been an overarching theme recently for me. I'm physically flexible like none of my ancestors. That's my genetic difference that manifested in me. Yeah, if your body's flexible, think about how great that is. Since taking the values determination class, I now believe I have to live according to my values. That's a belief, isn't it? Lulu says, and I believe that my number one purpose in life is to assist in the awakening of others. That's an interesting belief. I would probably say to Lulu this: I think your number one belief should be in your own personal awakening, because how can you assist others until you become more awake? And then you're going to say to me, well, I am awake. And I'm going to say, well, that's an interesting belief, because who's fully awake? I don't know. I've never met anyone fully awake. People tell me these people are awake. I meet them and I say, well, they're human. They're more awake than most, but they're still human. It's one of the things that I talk about teaching is I don't believe that you can be fully awake all the time. Think about what it means to be aware. If you're aware 10% of the day, that means you're fully conscious, fully aware 24 minutes. Are you? Here's what I understand. What if you were aware for a little bit of time and you say, if I build this habit, it would serve me. So I'm going to consciously choose to build a habit, because our lives are run by our habits. So if I can consciously start to choose habits, when I'm not aware, at least the habits will be serving my intended purpose. See what I'm getting at? I know I go in and out of awareness. I know that. But I've built habits that I do not, I'm pretty inflexible with. Yeah, I am. I've got a habit that I do Wim Hof breathing every morning at 5:15. I've got a habit that right around 5:30, I'm doing 30 minutes of meditation. I've got a habit that I go to the gym 6 out of 7 days. I've got a habit that I cook nutritious food for myself. I've created habits of when I spend time with my partner. Those habits serve me and I reevaluate them. And I have to be flexible. What if I'm traveling? Can I do what I do? Well, I got to be flexible. Hey, I've got a habit talking to you every morning at 8 a.m. my time. I went upstairs just before I came and talked to you and I said, I'm preparing to talk. When we talk in a few moments, my wife goes to me, she says, you're always preparing to talk. And I know, well, you're right, I am. I'm teaching. That's my number 2 value. I love teaching. Well, Becca, I'll tell you what, we're all living forever, just not with our bodies and with our egos. I've accepted that too. I can look at my face today and say, that's not the face of the boy I knew back in his 30s. There's a lot of experience you can see on this face. But I'm flexible enough not to be attached to the way I looked at 30 and realize that the way I look today is a perfect way of looking. I always ask the question, can I do what I need to do to have the most joyous life at this time of my life? And you know what? I can. And so when I look at the physical body, I always look at the physical body as, is it a vessel through which I can fully experience as much life as I want? And yes, it is. That's why I go to the gym. That's why I eat healthy. That's why I meditate. That's why I try to maintain a low stress level. That's why I'm flexible, because flexibility keeps a lower stress level. When you've got those things working, you can keep this tempo moving in a way that you can do things. I'm seeing restrictions being chipped away a little bit at a time. All I'm waiting for now is the restrictions on being able to travel to the Himalayas so that I can be there, go on a journey, do some meditating there, because I love it. It's special to me. But you see, I'm flexible enough to realize I can't do it right now. So how can I make the most of where I am at this moment? That's the key thing. I was doing a podcast the other day. Someone else's. I was a guest. And I got a text. Where are you? And I looked, and it was like an hour early. And I realized we're in different time zones. My understanding and my calendar said 11. His said an hour earlier. I sent him an email back. He sent me an email back. We did it at 11:15 my time. Flexible. Didn't get upset. Neither of us got upset. Realize things in life happen. And you have to be flexible to fit into those things. Otherwise, if you're not flexible, you're going to get yourself all pissed off. Why would you get pissed off over something so simple? A misunderstanding of time. It's not that big a deal. Unless you've got a belief it's a big deal. That's what I wanted to talk to you about today. I wanted you to be able to think about your life and think about how flexible are you. And folks, you got to be real honest with yourself. Are you really flexible, or are you pretty damn rigid? Most people I know are pretty damn rigid. And when things don't go their way, they blow up with anger, with resentment, with fear, with jealousy, and all of the depression, all of those negative emotions that do not feel good. Flexibility, though, can help us get back our control. So with that, I can look at you and say, whether you're flexible or inflexible, I accept you because I love you just like you are. Until tomorrow, create your perfect day. Aloha.